Ethiopia holds one of the strongest history on the continent. In April 1868, British and Abyssinian forces engaged in a battle in Magdala town, Ethiopia. This town is situated 630 kilometers from the Red Sea coast. The Abyssinia Kingdom is the former name of Ethiopia. During the time, Emperor Tewodros II was the ruler of the empire. But unfortunately, the British expeditionary troops ransacked the emperor's castle and took 200 mules and 15 camels to carry the loot of sacred manuscripts, human remains and royal gold. For many years, the nation has tried to reclaim its stolen artifacts from Britain. The Victorian and Albert Museum in London, also known as V&A, has put its collection on display to mark the 150th anniversary of the Magdala battle. This museum holds the Magdala artifacts. Ethiopians have proposed their return as part of a long-term loan.
Well, it would be exciting if the items held at the V&A could be part of a long-term loan with a cultural institution in Ethiopia. These items have never been on a long-term loan to Ethiopia. But as we look to the future, I think what we're interested in are partnerships around conservation, interpretation, heritage management, and these need to be supported by government assistance so that institutions like the V&A can support sister institutions in Ethiopia.
For many years, the Ethiopian people struggled to get back their 1,700-year-old obelisk that was carried to Rome by the Italian fascist invaders in the 1930s. Luckily, it was returned in 2005. The National Museum of Ethiopia holds a collection of royal regalia and memorabilia from the country's former rulers. The director of the museum, Ephraim Amare, states that a loan of Ethiopian artifacts is totally not an option as the artifacts belong to them.
We have a lot of written documents that show they carried out a planned and organized looting in Magdala. We also know that these treasures are in the British Museum. It is clearly known why these treasures came to whom they belong. Our main question has never been to have them on loan. Ethiopia's position has always been the restoration of those illegally looted treasures, not to borrow them.
Ethiopia is not alone in this case. Over 100 years during the invasion of the Benin Kingdom, British soldiers captured the two statues that were taken from the kingdom. These were returned in 2017. There are calls currently for the remaining treasures to be repatriated. According to the British Museum Act of 1963, Britain does not allow objects to be removed from British museums unless it is an act of parliament. The government of Ethiopia states that they have not received any communication regarding the long-term loan.
We didn't even ask for this. What we have asked was restitution of our heritage, our Magdala heritage, looted from Magdala, 150 years ago. We presented our request in 2007 and waiting for it. We haven't received any response so far. We are trying to push it forward again. Except that about this new arrangement, giving it to us on the basis of law. That's not our question to begin with, and we have never been requested formally.
Alula Pankrest is a member of the ad hoc committee. This committee works on the restoration of the Magdala treasures. Pankrest family members have studied Ethiopian history and culture for generations. He states that the stolen artifacts hold vital information for modern society.
Not just are these important aspects of the imperial heritage and of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, but in these manuscripts there is information about land title deeds in the marginalia, in the sides of the manuscripts. There are details about land transactions, for instance.
London's Victoria and Albert Museum Director Tristman Hunt says that the claims of the museum holding stolen crafts will be an investigation that should be examined.